I want to turn now to Dr. Amanda Sloat in Washington. She's a senior fellow at the Brookings Institution. She also worked for the State Department under the Obama administration. Amanda, I want to sort of start with the Kurds. We've heard a senior leader, Kurdish leader, made this announcement calling it a stab in the back. What's the relationship been between U.S. troops and Kurdish forces on the ground?
When the United States under President Obama made the decision to get involved militarily in Syria in the fight against the Islamic State, it was looking for partners on the ground with whom to operate. The United States military decided to work with members of the YPG, a faction of Syrian Kurds. And so the U.S. has been working with them in a train and assist capacity on the ground, has also been providing airstrikes for them throughout the campaign.
There's so many international players in Syria. There's been ongoing tension between Turkey and the Kurdish fighters. A withdrawal of U.S. troops, how would that impact Turkey?
So Turkey has always been unhappy with American cooperation with the YPG, given links between the YPG and the PKK, which is a domestic terrorist organization in Turkey that has long been involved in a battle with the Turkish state and led to the deaths of several thousand people. So Turkey has long lobbied both the Obama administration and the Trump administration to stop this cooperation with the Syrian Kurds. Turkish President Erdogan has in recent weeks indicated that he plans to take military action against the Syrian Kurds in northeastern Syria. One of the concerns had been the presence of these American forces alongside the Syrian Kurds. And so one of the questions now is going to be whether or not Turkey goes forward with that military operation. And there's also, as you said, a sense of betrayal by these Syrian Kurds and questions about whether or not they are going to try and strengthen their partnership with the Assad regime to get regime backing and support that would strengthen them against any possible incursion by the Turks.
You know, there's also the argument that the presence of U.S. troops in Syria has deterred Iranian interests there. What would Iranian influence look like now with the U.S. withdrawal in Syria?
So one of the main arguments that has been coming from National Security Advisor Bolton, from Secretary of State Pompeo, has been criticism of the Obama administration for not doing enough to counter Iranian influence in the region, and also articulating that a continued U.S. presence in Syria would be useful to try and push back on this Iranian presence. So certainly once the United States leaves, it is going to leave a vacuum of leadership in Syria, and the question is going to be who fills that vacuum. The Iranians, the Russians, and the Assad regime have all been quite keen for the United States to leave, and so certainly all of them are going to be seeing this as a success.
You know, there's concern over Russia's influence. We know Russian President Vladimir Putin for some time has wanted to have some sort of dominance in the Middle East. Is this a win for Putin?
Yes, absolutely. Russia is controlling much of the airspace and territory in northwestern Syria. And if the United States ends up leaving in northeastern Syria, this gives them greater opportunity to engage in that area as well. Certainly the Russians have been backing the Assad regime, and they have not wanted to see the U.S. there. And so this is going to be seen as a political win by all of these parties on the ground.
Dr. Amanda Sloat, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.